go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Go, Knights, go! Hello, YouTubers and hockey fans and junior hockey fans, London Knight fans. Welcome to Knights This Week with your host and super fan Jason Banks coming at you for another week of London Knights action to sum up and cap up for you. Now, this is going to be the last London Knights action before the Christmas break. So they had 3 games in 3 days before the Christmas break. So that is what we're going to be looking at on today's show. And look at a little bit of the World Juniors too for you. Because that is up and running as well. So we'll try to get to some of that as well. But it's going to be a great one here. So welcome to the show with your host, Jason Banks here. And so let's get to it, shall we? And let me get my position set up here for you. And on my lovely green chair. Yes, it's my green chair here. Okay, there we go. Let's adjust this a bit. There we go. So you can see a bit of my shirt and you can see my Christmas hat. So, best of the season to everybody out there. This is December 23rd today. So Christmas Eve day is tomorrow and Christmas Day is on Monday. So I hope that you have a wonderful time with family and friends. And reflect upon the true meaning of Christmas as well. So anyway, let's get to the show, shall we? And let's find out what the Knights did last week. Now, last week, the Knights had 2 games down at the Bud, downtown London. And then they finished out their 3-game stretch, going up for a lengthy trip up to Owen Sound. And that is a bit of a lengthy trip, trust me. I have driven that. It's a good 3.5-hour trip right there. 4 hours depending on the weather. So anyway, that is what the Knights were facing on this Knights this week. Starting out with a week ago Friday, entertaining the Sarnia Sting. Sarnia Sting have been a very solid team all season long. For a lot of the season, they were ranked number 1 in the country. They are now not ranked 1 in the country. They're still ranked pretty high, but they also have tailed a little bit behind those surging, running Greyhounds. They are blazing. They are, you know how Greyhounds are fast. They are streaking. They are really moving, and they continue to do that. But anyway, Sarnia Sting here at Budweiser Gardens a week ago Friday. Their first visit into London this season. London did go up to Sarnia earlier and dropped a 4-1 decision. So we'll see what happens in this one versus a really solid team in Sarnia. Now, for many years, this used to be a gimme win. The London Knights had I don't know what the number was, but an unbelievable streak of wins going against the Sarnia Sting. But not anymore, because Sarnia has established themselves as an elite team in this league. So let's go to the game summary of this one, shall we, and find out what happened. And Joseph Raymaker is getting the start in net once again. And they have gone to him game after game after game after game. It is clear they brought him here to play, and playing he is. And I think he loves it. I think he loves the action. I think he loves being in there every game. But they start out with him once again in net. And the London Knights get off to a good start in this game because, well, it was a scoreless first period. Nothing happened in the first period, I'll tell you that much. The shots in the first did favor the Sting 12-8, but there were no goals scored in the first period. So, it didn't take it took till the second to get a goal, and it came at the 4:13 mark when Sam Miletich, who got, what did he get last year? I think he got 37 goals or something. He gets his 9th of the season. So Sam Miletich is not scoring as many goals, but he is contributing in other ways. He's definitely putting up assists, But he gets a goal in this one at his 9th goal of the season from Cliff Pu at 4:13. So a great start for the London Knights, right? 1-0 lead on the Sting, playing at home. That's pretty good. But just after that goal, very quickly after that goal, the Sting go on the power play and they would even it. Hugo Lufnius got his 15th goal of the season on a power play at 4:32, ties it up at 1. And then Sarnia would go running. They would, the Knights would start getting stung by the Sting. That's my sound effect of a bee. At 8:23 of the second, Connor Schlichting got his 4th goal of the season to give the Sting their first lead of the game. And then at 13:59, they go ahead 3-1 when Brady Heinz got his 13th goal of the season from a former Knight assisting on this one, Drake Rimshaw, at 13:59. And then, before the second period is over, they still get another goal to Sting. And this coming off the stick of Anthony Salatineri, his 14th goal of the season, from Adam Ruzicka, 4-1 Sting. So 4 straight goals by the Sting, and then we saw a goaltender change. That was the end of the night for Joseph Raymakers. Can't really fault him too much, but still, 4 goals on 23 shots. And they decided, hey, let's give him a bit of a rest and let's bring in Jordan Coy. So they brought in Jordan Coy to get some playing action. And at first it seemed to be a good strategy because after they brought him in, the Knights got a goal off the stick of Sam Miletich again. His 10th goal of the season from Evan Bouchard and Josh Nelson at 17:20. So it was 4-2 after 2 periods of play. But in the third period, it did not matter as the Sarnia Sting added on a couple more goals. The shots were fairly even in this game, actually. 38-33 for the Sting. So it wasn't a terrible game for the Knights. Very much like in Sarnia. They were definitely not out of it. But the Sting are a good team. And I would put high money that your conference final this year is going to come down to 2 division foes in the Sting and Greyhounds, but we'll see. In the third period, Jordan Ernst gets a goal from Sarnia, his 18th goal of the season from Drake Rimshaw. Yeah, that former Knight coming up and haunting the Knights. And then at the halfway point of the third, they get a power play goal again, the Sting. Drake Rimshaw, his 17th goal of the season on the power play. 6-2 is the final in this one for the Sting over your London Knights. So a little bit of a rough game for the Knights, but full credit to the Sting. They are a good hockey team. They are going to be a tough team to beat this year. A lot of teams are going to have issues with the Sting, I think. Except maybe the Greyhounds, who are just even better than the Sting right now. But 6-2 is the final for the Sarnia Sting over the London Knights. 3 stars in this game. Well, the Knights got on the board with this one because Sam Miletich is the 3rd star. He had a very good game. He got 2 goals. He now has 10 on the season. So great job, Sam. Yes, great job, great game. Then the 2 other stars coming from the Sting, Connor Schlichting, the 2nd star, and Drake Rimshaw. Kid got 1 goal and 2 assists, so he had a very good game. 1st star of this game. So the Sting win this one, and our first game of Knights this week. Let's go to the next game, shall we? Where the Mississauga Steelheads come into town. The defending Eastern Conference champions from a year ago. And they're struggling this year, the Mississauga Steelheads. They definitely don't have the team they did last year. Although it was at this time of year last year, they were kind of low in the standings as well. And then they went on that incredible tear and had a really good second half. But right now, they are not doing very well. And a lot of the Knights kind of got off to a bit of a slow start in this one as well. Both teams not exactly showing brilliance and flashiness in this game early on, because the first period only saw 11 shots in total. Just 11 in total. So 7 for the Steelheads, just 4 for the London Knights. 4 shots on net. Not a very high energy start by London Knights. But nevertheless, the London Knights got the first goal of the game in the first, when at 17:31 late in the first, Tyler Rollo, one of the veterans they picked up early in the season, an overager, gets his 6th goal of the season from Cole Timken and Evan Bouchard. This game was very interesting because the Knights rode without 3 of their best players at the World Juniors, and the veterans that they picked up, the overagers they picked up, were very prominent in this game. Very, very prominent. But anyway, Tyler Rollo gets the scoring started. His 6th from Cole Timken and Evan Bouchard at 17:31 of the first. We go to the second, where the shots on net were 7-5 for the Knights. So they got 3 more shots on net, and but still 12 shots in the period by both clubs. So kind of listless again. I don't think this was a very highly entertaining, exciting game to be at, but nevertheless. In the second, the Knights get another goal off the stick of Shane Collins. Overage defenseman, his first of the season too. So way to go, Shane, getting your first goal of the season from Cliff Pooh and Sam Milicic at 7:13. Made it 2-0. Then we go on to the third, where early on in the third, Tyler Rollo. Rollo. Give me some of that Rollo candy, would you? Gets his 7th goal of the season from Liam Foudy and Evan Bouchard. It was a short-handed goal, too. Made it 3-0 at that point. Now, the Steelheads break up the shutout at 7:24, and Shaw Boomhauer got his 8th of the season. But that was it for the Steelheads as they drop 3-1 to the London Knights, as the London Knights get back on the board after that tough game against Sarnia. Joseph Raymakers was back in net in this one, and he was he played a very good game, good enough to get a star recognition. He was the 3rd star of the game, Joseph Raymakers. And then Shane Collins and Tyler Rollo were the 2nd and 1st star of the game. Rollo got 2 goals, and Shane Collins got his 1st goal of the season. So a lot of Knights defeat the Mississauga Steelheads 3-1 to get back in the win column. Now let's move on to the last game of our show this week, the last one before the Christmas break. And this one, they traveled down to Owen Sound. You have to ask yourself, at least I do, Owen Sound, they are definitely not the team I thought they would be. I thought they would be right at the class of the OHL, like just blowing everybody away, but they are not. They are a very mediocre team, and they're definitely not the team they were last year. But anyway, let's get to this game, and this game was something else. First period, the Owen Sound attack were all over the London Knights. In fact, outshooting them by a tune of 14-2. 14-2. Wow. Did you get off the bus, boys? Looked like they were still on the bus in the first period. But nevertheless, no scoring in that first, thanks to some outstanding goaltending from Joseph Raymakers. And you know what? This guy is going to be the trade of the year, I think, because where would the Knights be if they hadn't made that trade? He has been a huge difference. And he was on fire in that first. On fire! So, yeah, bam! He was really hot and on fire, and he was an explosion in that first period. An explosion. So let's go to the second now, and let's see what happens in that period. The Knights play a better period in the second, 12-10 the shots in favor of Owen Sound, and the second period was the only goal we would see of this game. It came off the stick of Evan Bouchard on the power play, an unassisted goal all by himself. 12th goal of the season. That's 15-12, 1-0, and then 1-0 would be all you would see, because in the third period, despite being outshot 6-2 by the Owen Sound attack, Owen Sound would not get a goal. So the shots in this game were 32-14 in favor of the Owen Sound attack. 32-14. So they outshot them by a 2-to-1 ratio, but the London Knights, thanks to Joseph Raymakers, gets the first star, gets the win in this one. And you know what? Sorry, I need to do this because just give me a second.
I swear I've seen a lot of stuff in my life, but that was awesome.
That was awesome. Yes, indeed. Awesome performance by Joseph Raymakers, who was the first star of this game, kicking out all 32 stops for a shutout. Congratulations to you, buddy. And so he was the first star of the game. Second star was Marcus Phillips from Owen Sound. Third star, the goal scorer in the game, naturally, Evan Bouchard. As the London Knights would defeat the Owen Sound attack 1-0 on this Sunday afternoon. And you might say that was a bit of a robbery, and it certainly was. As the London Knights defeat the Owen Sound attack. And that was a fist for Joseph Raymakers. Good job, buddy. So that was our games this week. The Knights went 2-1 in their games this week. Not too bad before the Christmas break. They are now off to December 28th. Okay. So they have a bit of a break, and then they're off to the 28th of December, where they have a road game somewhere, I believe. I'm not sure quite where. So let's get to some other news, shall we? And we need to offer some congratulations. Yes. Two London Knights officially made Team Canada. Robert Thomas and Alex Formitton. Congratulations, guys. Great job for making Team Canada the World Juniors. So two Knights on the team, and Victor Mete is on the team as well. He's not officially a London Knight right now. He's a Montreal Canadiens, but maybe he may be a London Knight after the World Juniors. We're going to have to see what Montreal decides to do with him, as I said in my last nights this week. But good job to all those guys for making the team. Max Jones is still with Team USA. The official word is not, they take a longer time making their decisions, so the official word on them is not out quite yet. Should be sometime later today. They will be announcing their final roster. But based on the season he's been having with the Knights, I'd be very shocked if he doesn't make it. So we'll have to see officially the news on him as well. And the World Juniors has gotten started with exhibition games. Canada has played 2, and Canada has absolutely butt-kicked both of them. They played the Czech Republic here at Budweiser Gardens right here in London, Ontario. A sellout crowd. It was a very good crowd. Lots of people very excited to see the Canadians play. They beat the Czechs 9-0. Robert Thomas had 4 points in that game too, so great job, buddy. Wow, he's a player. He's awesome, Robert Thomas. And then they played Team Switzerland and Hamilton last night and came away with an 8-1 victory. So, couple of thumpings by Team Canada. The real stuff gets going on Boxing Day against Finland. So, stay tuned for that one. So, we went over that. Now, let's go over the... and you know what? Yeah, wow. Great job all around on those players for Team Canada. So let's go to the updated CHL rankings and standings, shall we? And then that's what we'll do to end our show today. So let's go to the standings first of all in the OHL and see what's happening there, especially when it comes to your London Knights. Let's take a look at their division first and foremost, shall we? And considering where this team was, okay, let's remember where this team was when the season started. They were horrible. They were last place in the entire league. They won one of their first, 11 games, 9 games. And now here they are at the Christmas break with a record of 18, 14, and 2 for 38 points, which puts them second place in the division right now. It's a tight division, nevertheless, but still puts them second right now. Definitely, they are playing very solidly. And they are now 6 points behind Kitchener. So Kitchener is not exactly out of the round to catch. And on the Knights, keep in mind, still have 4 games left against that club. So lots of time to catch them. They are a point ahead of the Guelph Storm, who are at 37, just a point behind the Knights. Owen Sound's at 33, so Owen Sound is just 5 points behind the Knights. So that's how tight those 3 teams are. Erie is bringing up the rear. Bringing up the rear. Bringing up the rear. Yeah, the Otters are back at the bottom of the standings at 28 points. That's where they were for many years, if you can recall, before they got really good. But, not surprising. This is a rebuild year for the Otters. Nobody expected them to probably be that good, and they aren't. They are sitting at the bottom of that division, out of a playoff spot. Now let's flip over to the West Division, where I talked about that before, with the Sioux Greyhounds sitting at 60 points already. 60 points just at the Christmas break. They are pretty darn awesome. They are now on a 20-game winning streak, and it appears like they are just going to run away and hide, because now they're even 8 points clear of Sarnia right now. So Sarnia Sting doing very good at 25-8-2, but that puts them still 8 points behind the Greyhounds. Wow, crazy stuff. The Windsor Spitfires have 39 points, and the reason I say that is because London has 38. So London is just a point behind them as well in the standings. Let's move over to the Eastern Conference, where the team of the class in that conference still is the Hamilton Bulldogs. They have 48 points, good enough for first in the conference. They are 8 points ahead of Kingston in their division, and 5 points ahead of Barrie in the conference. Barrie is 20-10-2 for 43 points. So Hamilton and Barrie, the division leaders over there. So let us take a look at the country now, shall we? Let's do that. Bring up the CHL And I can tell you that the Sioux Greyhounds are still going to be right up there at the top of the CHL rankings. There's no doubt with the record that they have been carrying for the last while. So let's go to the CHL top 10 rankings for you. Let's check it out. And as I said, just like they were last week, this week they are ranked number 1. They've won 20 in a row. They're not going to be knocked off that perch. They are outstanding. 29, 3, and 2, ranked number 1 in the entire country. Behind them, still at 2, is the Moose Jaw Warriors from out west. They are 27, 6, 1, and 1. Moving up to 3 from 5 from the week before, Blainville, Brospian Armanda from the Quebec Junior League with 23 wins, 7 losses, 2 overtime losses. Moving up to 4th from 6. Go back out west again, the Swift Current Broncos at 25, 7, and 2. At 5, the Brandon Wheat Kings from out west. They are 24, 8, 0, and 1. Wow, what is this? What is going on at 6? Going down from 3 to 6 is the Sarnia Sting. I don't know why they should be. I think they're better than those other teams, but anyway, they're at 6. Told you their record already. The Rimouski Oceanics stay at 7 out Quebec League. They're 22, 8, and 4. The Hamilton Bulldogs are 8th in the country at 21, 7, 3, and 3. The Drummondville Voyageurs from the Quebec Junior League are 22, 11, 1, and 1. They were 9th last week as well. And a new number 10, sliding into 10, is the Roy Noranda Huskies from the Quebec Junior League with a record of 28, 4, and 2. Honorable mentions go to the following clubs: the Halifax Mooseheads, 21, 9, and 4, and 1. Barrie Coats are 20, 10, 2, and 1. And the Gatineau Olympiques are 22, 10, 2, and 2. All right. It's a lot of, numbers to go over. So there you have it, the CHL top 10 rankings where the Sioux Greyhounds still reign the country. And it's going to be interesting to see how high they can get that winning streak. They're at 20 right now. They're very close to a record. I think it's 25 or 26 would be a new record for our winning streak. So that is some amazing stuff right there. So I have to keep an eye on that. So anyway, the World Juniors start up on Boxing Day. So for all those who want to watch hockey, tune in to that. Should be a good one in Buffalo. And Canada definitely looks like they got a very good team this year. I saw some of the game against the Czech Republic on TV. They're fast, they're speedy, and they got a lot of skill and talent. So, the World Juniors are definitely a lot more parity than they used to be. So there's some good teams there too. The USA usually put together a good team. Russia usually puts together a good team. Sweden usually is pretty good. So a lot of teams that would be in the running. But Canada certainly is one of them, and Canada definitely has a shot to win it all. They're skilled enough to win it all. We'll just have to see what happens. Anyway, this has been Knights this week for you. I hope you've enjoyed the show. And again, Merry Christmas to all of you out there. I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. And just like I do at the end of every show, I am going to leave you with the Knights Dance. Okay, so here we go. Just let me bring it up for you. All right. So here we go, the Knights Dance for you to end the Knights this week, the last one of 2017. Wow. Do 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 So, until next time, have a great week, have a great Christmas, and we'll see you next time on Nights This Week.